Great teams in sports deserve great nicknames, and even though the IceHogs are just 2 games into their 2023 Calder Cup campaign, the name Heart Attack Hogs has a nice ring to it. IceHogs win and advance to the round of 16. A loss forces a winner-take-all game Sunday in Des Moines. First goal of the night, though, goes to the Iowa Wild as Damian Giroux gets the Wild on the board first, 1-0. But a nice response in the power play. Isaac Phillips, the big handsome, with a long-distance shot to tie things up at 1 apiece. But the Hogs would not be done just yet in the first period as David Gust, that's going to be his second goal of the postseason, but the celebration is short-lived as we got some rabble-rousing going on behind the net there. This series continued to be chippy. Then, in the second period, the Wild tie it up. Marco Rossi, 20 seconds into the third, converts on the power play, and then Adam Beckman makes it 3-2 with just over 14 minutes left. But Michael Tepley, guys with the initials MT, you gotta like him, ties it up with about 10 minutes to go in the third period. We'd go to overtime for the 26th time this season for the IceHogs. And then I'm not your buddy guy, I'm your game winner. Buddy Robinson takes home the series. The IceHogs will look to mess with Texas as they face the Stars in the divisional semifinal round next week.